Three, two, one. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Good as Gold number 50. It's the big 5-0. We are very excited to be bringing you a game from round number 2 of this matchup. Today is Tuesday, June 19th, and with me is the Playhem caster, Nostalgia Talix. That's his name down below right there. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I am great, and I'm going to surreptitiously update the overlay again. If you could do the introductions for me, please.
Sure. Spawning up here in the top right-hand corner of Cloud Kingdom, LE as our yellow Terran player, we have AlphaKyl, or AlphaKyl, which is also a word. Not really. And spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner as our teal Protoss, we have SoopaKoopa. Now, this is the latter version of the map, unfortunately, because that means that there is no Space Shark in the middle of the map, and as a Playhem caster, I have learned the ways of the Space Shark. As that probe goes through the middle, I would usually say something along the lines of, "Blessed be those who pass beneath the Space Shark, for they shall inherit the universe." But I cannot this time, as that Space Shark is no longer there. That's the Playhem caster religion. It's all hail Space Shark.
I like it. Have you heard about the Space Whale Showdown?
No,
I haven't. It's a tournament in tribute to the Space Whale, not to the shark, so I don't know, that may be at odds with your religion, but it's just a small show match that's being run by a guy who calls himself Whales from Space.
Well, he probably sounds a little biased. But anyways, it's going to be a TVP here on Cloud Kingdom. It looks like Alpha. So how's the name that you would pronounce it? Would you pronounce it AlphaKyl?
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. That might not be right at all, but
I think that's probably right. I would have went with AlphaKyl because I don't see the E, but we'll go with AlphaKyl. Looks like, he is getting that barracks now. It's coming on at a pretty good timing. We might see the 1 racks expand out of him as he saves up quite a lot of minerals. So you can see already up to 300. He did make that first Marine. He's delaying that orbital command just a little bit by making another SCV as opposed to a planetary fortress. And ooh, SoopaKoopa here. Looks like he is putting down a forward pylon kind of between the natural and the third base right now of Kyle. So I wonder what we'll be seeing out of that. There was no fort, so it probably will not be a cannon rush. But he does indeed see that fast expansion.
He did see it. The Marine saw the probe and just decided to let him go for today at least. I'm going to kill him in the future, I would hope, for AlphaKyl's sake anyway. The pylon is just, it's in a really obvious location. I'd really like to see AlphaKyl moving around the map. It's AlphaKyl. Thank you, admin Lefty. It's AlphaKyl.
I was right. All right, well, we're going back to AlphaKyl.
Right.
It looks like he, back at home, has got a pretty quick warp gate coming down. Still on 1 gas. He does have 4 people in that assimilator as opposed to 3, so his mineral income won't be as high as it probably should be. But we might be seeing a 4 gate out of him, but it will be a little bit less effective as AlphaKyl here does have vision of that forward pylon.
And yet he's not shooting it.
No, he's just watching it. He's watching it with discontent. He's like, oh, that pylon. If only I could move 3 steps to the left, I would shoot you.
Oh, there he goes. Moves as close as he possibly can so it can't be remade? Okay. The pylon is not going to get away from the micro of AlphaKyl. The command center being completed, more Marines being brought down. There is no Maynard transfer, but that's because it looks like we skipped a few SCVs earlier on and already have both refineries down. Going with the 2nd racks now. Would like to see him throwing down a 3rd or something like that, considering he's already floating at almost 400 minerals. And we see SoopaKoopa decided to go with an expansion of his own.
Yeah, that's a really interesting choice at this point. Looking at what SoopaKoopa had done, getting that earlier gas up, really trying to chrono boost out that warp gate, I was definitely expecting more of a 4-gate all-in play here from him. However, throwing down that natural now has become a little bit of a liability. As you can see, he's got a lot of gas at this point. He did start a 2nd assimilator, which actually delays that nexus. He probably knows that he doesn't want to be too far behind in terms of tech against our Terran player, but I think if he had actually just 4-gated at this point, he may have actually just killed AlphaKyl and at least denied that expansion. But with this, it means he's going to be playing a little bit more passively, and that means we won't be seeing any aggression out of him, at least for another couple of minutes.
Yeah, definitely. Interestingly, the command center not being upgraded to an orbital or a planetary. Definitely orbital is pretty much the consensus as the better build, but It's
Oh,
known
yes.
that either or is better than the original. Now we have a supply block for AlphaKyl. SoopaKoopa was supply blocked briefly earlier on and had a little bit of an embarrassing chrono on 2 different structures while supply blocked, so I caught that for immortality just for you, SoopaKoopa. The transfer going down, and map vision for both players is pretty limited, although SoopaKoopa is taking the intelligent step of controlling that Xel'Naga. AlphaKyl really just kind of holding up, which is an interesting choice because he's not building a bunker. He's really kind of being greedy.
I just noticed something about your overlay.
Yes,
You have SoopaKyl, and the colors are mixed up.
outstanding.
Got it, though. That's important. In the
Thank
meantime,
you.
let's actually take a look at this work supply. It's actually almost dead even here from both of these players. AlphaKyl with 34, SoopaKoopa with 33. Both players do have their expansion up and running, and now it's just a matter to see who's going to be getting that production out a little bit faster. AlphaKyl going for some Zealots and upgrades. He's getting that +1 attack upgrade. And SoopaKoopa, you know, he did get all the way up to Starport by this point. He's also getting Stim, Combat Shield, and he's making a couple more Marines. So I would have to say that, at least in terms of tech, AlphaKyl is looking pretty good. He's got to be careful, though. SoopaKoopa, with those upgrades, does make those Protoss units a little bit better. And he also does have that robotics facility, which could be used to make Colossus eventually, or at least early game Immortals for a big push.
Definitely could wow that production tab for AlphaKyl getting even bigger now as he gets those medevacs added in, going for that Marine Marauder ball. He looks like he's going to miss that 10-minute timing attack by a little bit just because he's about 100 seconds away from Stim Pack. But probably we'll see some aggression rather than a third base. Right now the Observer getting in for SoopaKoopa, giving him some information. Looks like it may have been seen by AlphaKyl, who's moving his Marines around. There goes the scan. Oh!
Yep, just barely catching that, actually. A good little read there from AlphaKyl. He does have those medevacs here now. They are collecting a little bit of energy, so he can go in for that big attack. He's got to be careful, though, because SoopaKoopa does have a lot of sentries, can split that Terran army in half. The Zealots can do a lot of damage to the Marines, while the Stalkers in the back can pick off things like the medevacs, and as well as continue to do a lot of damage. But,
Definitely.
all right, it does look like SoopaKoopa here actually going to be going for that robotic space, so we will probably see earlier Colossus play out of him. He is making an Immortal or 2 right now as well, so he's probably going to be waiting, getting a pretty large army here, trying to force AlphaKyl to actually make things like Vikings. That would be very, very good to go against those Colossus. And then maybe after he's taken that third base, we'll see him try to transition into High Templar and Storms.
Opening up that income tab, we see that Terran does have the advantage, at least at the moment, in minerals mined, but he's about 6 harvesters behind, and doesn't look like he's producing any more at all. That may come back to bite him a little bit as he's not really saturated on either base. He's starting to get a little bit low on minerals at his main. We have a lot of idle SCVs too. That's never a good thing. Make sure you shift-click back home just now, starting these level 1 upgrades. Built the engineering base a little bit too early for that timing. Don't really need the buildings if you're not going to make anything with them. Now the Observer in a very nice position for SoopaKoopa, and the Xel'Naga, of course, being controlled. Can just barely see those Marines. Only saw 2 of them, though, so he may have missed that. It was only just for a brief second, and looks like AlphaKyl is posturing to go forward. Both players more or less supply blocked currently. New gateways being laid down, not being upgraded to warp gates yet. That's a little bit of a misstep out of SoopaKoopa. And
Yeah, SoopaKoopa's going to have to be very, very careful right now. AlphaKyl, he did just move out for that big attack. Quite a lot of Marines and Marauders, actually. He's taking out the Destructible Rock right now. I don't think that's a good idea. Obviously, when he killed the probe, he knew that there was an attack coming, so delaying the attack even more gives SoopaKoopa an advantage of getting more stuff out faster. As well, that first Colossus is being
and he's
made.
hiding.
It's actually not, because he has a Colossus in that Warp Prism, which is really interesting, especially instead of having it out ready for this attack, he has it sitting inside of that Warp
It's
Prism.
almost
So.
like he wants to tempt him in. He's like, I don't have Colossus. What are you talking about? Which is
That's
a
a
really
good point.
key play.
Very.
So,
Oh, he's got to be careful with that, though. He can't actually afford to lose the Warp Prism.
oh, the Warp Prism
All
does
right,
get
he's actually
around.
leaving with that. Some good force fields going down, trapping out part of that army. The Zealots clearing up most of what's here. The Medivacs have tried to heal, but they are now out of energy.
Now the Colossus returns, and just to add insult to injury, that Bioforce is completely obliterated. AlphaKyl nicely macroing up behind his attack, though. He didn't expand, which is a little disappointing to see, but he does have that third command center being built. And SoopaKoopa, I think, has an opportunity to move forward. He postures at the front. Oh, nice force field there on that ramp.
Oh, that Medivac gets picked off right now. SoopaKoopa taking quite a large supply lead, 116 to 116, using that Warp Prism for constant resupply. He's even put the Colossus in there. He's going to have to move forward here with everything if he wants to break through this Terran's front wall. But I think if he does hit this timing right now, he will be in a very, very good position to actually win this game, as there's not much of a ground army here from AlphaKyl. There are some Vikings here now, though, to try to help deal with those Colossus, but let's see if they will be very effective, just because there's quite a few Stalkers here as well. SoopaKoopa is basically supply blocked at this point, and definitely needs to start making a couple more pylons, and then warping in another bit of an army.
Those Vikings not doing anything at all before they were just obliterated. This bunker put down pretty much way too late. Some decent force fields, not the best, but ooh, the Colossus was a little too far forward. The target fire goes down. That's good for AlphaKyl. The second Colossi finally showing up. The Immortal moving around much and not really engaging the army, and the extra DPS from these Marines in the high ground. SoopaKoopa probably needs to pull back here. We will see. Oh, wait, the third Colossus is showing up. Maybe he doesn't need to go anywhere.
Yeah, actually, he also lost that Warp Prism, so his resupply was going to be a lot less effective. And to be honest, it was his force fields that he had on the ramp that was actually locking him out from the most part there during that attack. So AlphaKyl did manage to hold out. I think SoopaKoopa can just pull back at this point and resupply. He's getting quite a few more Stalkers. He's taken that third base, but so has AlphaKyl. But I'd still give the advantage, even though the